Hello again, everyone. I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake. Welcome to Two on the Aisle. Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Tonight, we are going to talk about Titanique, which asks the question, what if Celine Dion were there with Leonardo DiCaprio on the Titanic? It's an interesting question, and one that has been running off Broadway for some time. Now it has moved for a limited run on Broadway, and among others, they've brought Jim Parsons into the cast.
With two seagulls strapped to his head.
I would say his performance is Sheldon Square, but this really is not about the Jim Parsons character. He plays Rose's mother, and it's based essentially on the movie Titanic. But what if Celine Dion had been on the ship, and she comes out, she's in her gown, and she's belts out a few songs, she just kind of appears here and there, and she smiles, and this is not the actual Celine Dion, although Celine Dion fans rejoice. She is actually going on tour. You have Marla Mandel, and I was sitting in the theater and I realized something embarrassing. I've never actually seen Celine Dion perform, and I've never actually seen the entire movie of Titanic, although I have seen the Broadway musical. So I think I was coming in at a bit of a disadvantage because
No,
the
Charlie,
reference.
I think you're the perfect audience, Charlie. Honest to God, I think you're the perfect audience.
Wow, no one has called me perfect in a long time. I was really looking forward to this because I had heard a lot of it off Broadway. I never got around to seeing it, so I was excited, and I went in, and it's all right. It's silly, and I would imagine that maybe I am the perfect audience, but I'm sure there were certain references that went over my head.
Well, I think
And
the less you know about it, the better is the point.
really,
Yes, really, because there are people who are devoted to the film, and I think they are going to be upset. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think it's for, uh, you know what? It's for the same audiences that loved the fan. And there's a fan in Titanique. There's a fan in Cats. It's similar audiences, and I don't think they really care one way or the other. They're there for the camp of it all.
we just did a review of Cats, and we both love that. Neither of us are overly enthusiastic about this, except ironically, the highlight of the show, or certainly one of the highlights, was when another fabled diva makes a surprise appearance on the Titanic, does one of her classic numbers, and blew me away, which is the only time I'm afraid this happened in the show.
I know. I think it blew everyone away. It's almost a 5 minute segment all to herself, and it's done by Layton Williams, who also plays the purser, I believe, the seaman. But as the Iceberg, he won an Olivier Award already for the show in London, so we know why they brought him over.
All right, that's right. This diva is portraying the iceberg that the Titanic hits. But however, since this is a musical, the iceberg sings a totally irrelevant song, but a really good one.
Well, it's a Tina Turner song. I mean, she comes out and does Tina Turner, obviously.
Oh, now we're giving it away. Okay,
Oh,
it's
like you
Tina.
didn't think it was already given away? This is not a show that has surprises. What it does have, and we didn't get a good one. What it does have is a couple of interpolated political and or current things in the opening monologue that Celine Dion has when she's talking about why she's there. And we didn't get a good one. We got her looking at someone in the audience saying, Leo, Leo, I'm so glad you're here, Leo, that kind of thing. But they did a few political things in the other ones, especially about the Strait of Hormuz, which we did not get. I just heard about it through the grapevine, as it were. I also would like to point out Jack Dawson, the young male lead, played by Kristen Rizzulli. Marlon Mendel and Kristen Rizzulli wrote this show. They have herded this show and co-starred in it for the last 9 or more years, both in London and in theater basements here in New York and at the DR2 before this. And they played this show quite a bit. So it should be perfect. They took an off-Broadway show and threw millions of dollars at it, 9 point something to be semi-exact. And you know what? It was probably better in the theater basement, to be honest, because the expectations were nil. If you see a show at that level and you come away thinking that it had some good points, that's a plus plus win. But if you go to Broadway and you see a gigantic multi-million-dollar musical and it has a number or maybe a number and a half that are memorable, well, that's not a win. That's a loss for me.
Eleanor Scott did the choreography. Ty Blue is the director. Melissa Barrera plays the young lady Rose.
John Riddle plays the villain of the piece, Cal Hockley, who's played by Billy Zane in the movie.
One thought did occur to me, getting back to Jim Parsons. How would you feel about seeing him playing Rose in Gypsy?
Well, because he gets a Rose's turn. There is a Rose's turn in this.
There is.
And as such, it is it's Ruth's turn. It's not Rose's turn.
And how many icebergs, playbills, would you give this?
I would give the play, the whole concept of the play itself, 1.5 icebergs. But I would give the Iceberg 2, which I think averages out to about 1.75. But overall, it just left me cold.
Okay. I can't say I like the show much better than you did, but I will be a little more generous, and I will give this 2.5. And I did like the Tina Turner Iceberg also. And that is our show for today. When you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us two.
On the aisle. I'll be fanning myself. I don't know what you'll be doing.
Practicing my swimming or my rowing.
Titanique on the set of The Voice.